We needed 2 trees removed from our yard, so we contacted our local arborist, and a few short hours later, the trees were removed safely and the cleanup was all taken care of. Well, that got me to wondering, what do arborists do in addition to tree removal? So I called Carr's Tree Service, and Evan Amundsen said we could come to find out. Thanks, Evan, for letting us come out and find out what you and your company do.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity for letting us share our years of experience and how to help people with their trees.
What is an arborist?
An arborist is someone who's done more than just knows something about trees. They've done studying and taken tests and done continuing education to know what's new and upcoming with tree diseases, insect problems, soil issues, and then how to help people solve those issues that they have with their trees.
How do you become an arborist?
So to become an arborist, you have to have had at least 3 years of experience in the field or have a horticulture or forestry degree. Additionally, there's an entity called International Society of Arboriculture, and that is really who does the credentialing for becoming an ISA certified arborist. So the certified arborist piece really sets you apart because we're following a standardized set of testing that anybody in the world can say, I am a certified arborist through the ISA, and it's going to be consistent.
What do arborists do?
So there's many different types of arborists, and I think that as a general rule of thumb, if you consider what an arborist does is they try to help people take care of trees. The arborist can do that in many different ways. Some are consulting arborists that maybe would go out and be like a doctor and say, is there something wrong with my tree? So if somebody calls us and says there's something that just doesn't seem right on my tree, there's a portion of it that's dying, what is going on? Well, that would be a call that our consulting arborists would go out and address and try to identify different diseases or insects or cultural issues that were going on that maybe were causing the tree to go into decline. Additionally, you can also have climbing arborists. If there's a tree that we can't get certain types of equipment to, there's actually a specialist that's called a specialist certified climbing arborist. There's a certification just for that.
So what is your background?
My background really starts when I was a young boy growing up. My father and mom and the whole family, we would go down to the woods and cut trees for firewood. And it was actually how he heated our house. And I was always intrigued with my dad knowing all of the different species of trees that there were out there. And it was something that I thought was pretty cool. I didn't intend on this being a career path for me, but when I was attending college at Bethel College for kinesiology, it was a summer job, and I just found that it was something that I was passionate about, and life always brought me back to helping people take care of their trees. I've been an arborist for 22 years now. So started out working the ground and helping the folks that were doing the tree removals and tree pruning into learning to be the climbing arborist, and then to managing people, and then to diagnosing different disease and insects like the trees that we've got around here, into obviously the role that I'm currently in, which is more so managing a lot of people and trying to build a culture of Carr's Tree Service to be more than just cutting trees down, but that we're actually here, that we care. We care about the trees and we care about the clients, and we want to provide people with as much education as we can so they can make really sound decisions on what to do with their trees, because it's their trees. They know the history better than I do. I can just help give them guidance and best practices to follow.
Do you and your staff have to keep going to school or take classes?
Yes, so continuing education does have to happen to maintain those accreditations and certifications. And then additionally, we do internal trainings as well with tailgate safety sessions and sessions that start our day out with getting better each day.
Why is it important for people to get a certified arborist to do their work?
I attribute it similar to, would you go to a doctor that's not an accredited doctor? Probably not. You know, you're going to want to go to a doctor that's been vetted out, that you know is accredited by an outside source, that's going to take care of your ailments, and you can trust that because they have been vetted out. So a certified arborist simply is saying that there's an outside entity, in this case the International Society of Arboriculture, that has vetted this individual out. that they've passed the test to prove that they know about soil composition, they know about tree biology, they know about the way that trees function and the environments around them.
Tell me about Carr's Tree Service.
Carr's Tree Service is over 50 years old. We're owned by 10 power line cooperatives, and with that gives us some nice flexibility of resources, and we actually service Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota. That geographic reach for us has been really nice because our guys work where they live. We don't ship people in and out. We're local companies. We train our staff to have all of the knowledge that they need to be successful in the jobs that they do for our clients. Our main clients are private, utility, and government. And in that, we work for the Department of Natural Resources, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Pheasants Forever, Ducks Unlimited on the government side of things. We do a lot of work with different cities to prevent emerald ash borer, and then also with the destruction of emerald ash borer to remove trees. We work with a lot of cities for Dutch elm disease removal and treatments as well to protect their trees that they have in an urban setting. So utility side of things, we're working clearing for pipelines. Utilities also is our power, overhead power that we have coming and feeding the homes that we have that we rely on day in and day out. And then private, of course, is what we call residential and commercial. So we've got residential folks, but we also have commercial properties that need their trees taken care of too. A lot of trees don't really like being in the middle of parking lots with asphalt all around them, and so many times those trees will need maintenance as well from a commercial setting.